Hi there, I'm Mat Bullock. I'm one of the directors of Your Business Group Franchises, and today in our series of Meet the Founder, we'll be talking with Tony Lawrence, who is the founder of Clear Ear Express Franchises, and we'll be talking a little bit about his history and also how the Clear Ear Express system works. So Tony, originally an optician, do you want to give us a bit of back information about that?
The first 10 years roughly, I had a Specsavers franchise. So that's where I know and understand franchising and the power of it and how well it can work. And for personal reasons, I moved away from that. Was in Kingston upon Thames. I moved away, and over the last 20 years roughly, I've opened my own independent practice. I've bought 3 more, and now I've eventually sold them. And about 3 years ago roughly, we felt that because of the changes in the NHS and their reluctance to do earwax removal, that there was an opportunity to do it within the community in our opticians. And so that's what we did. And when I decided to sell and decided it was a time to try and slow things down a little bit, I decided that I wanted to do the earwax removal. And that's what I've been doing since March this year, full time in an office up here in Gloucester. So I used to do it a couple of days a week as part of a bigger service. And really, I've sort of realised what an excellent business it is. It's no stress, it's no hassle. And today I've taken £440, which is, for most people, a pretty nice day. So, and that was seeing, let me have a quick look. That was seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the clinic and 1 home visit. I've had lots of time between patients to do other things. It's not been at all stressful. And I realised that this is a business that so many people, A, could provide, and B, would probably want to provide. And it's a fantastic service for the community. Most of the people I've seen today have been just incredibly grateful to see me because they've been struggling with wax in their ears and their hearing, and unfortunately they run into brick walls when they go to the GP and they go to conventional audiologists if they already wear hearing aids, because they don't have the resources to offer it, and they don't have the resources to offer it very quickly. So when there's a demand for something and we haven't got the capacities to supply, that's when a great business opportunity comes along. And from knowing Eddie and Matt and the other guys, I think we've realised that there's definitely an opportunity to be had here. Yeah. So obviously we had an awful lot of deliberation about what to call it. We felt for SEO purposes and other reasons, we wanted a name that sort of suggested fairly simply what we do, and obviously Clear Ear Express hopefully ticks that box. It's a quick service, it's a fast service, and we're going to clear people's ears. So I don't think there can be very much confusion in what we do. And when we look at the demographics, they're saying that 1 in 5 adults in the UK are already affected by hearing loss. And for a large number of those people, it is simply wax. So people may have hardness of hearing, they may feel uncomfortable, they may be getting headaches, they may be getting jaw ache, they may think they've got toothache. There's a number of conditions which are actually caused by this buildup of wax in the ear canal. And one of the reasons why it's sort of attractive is that the UK is getting older, and there are more people over the age of 45 than under. And a lot of these people have got disposable income. They want to have a full life. And part of that is they want to hear well. So we can offer this service in the community, which is really simple and convenient for these people. They'll go to their local opticians or their local chiropodist, whoever it may be, and enjoy these services. So, people hopefully regularly go and have dental appointments. They regularly go to the optician. And we're sort of saying that hearing is just as important as those other senses. So why not have regular routine ear care and actually have the wax removed, if it's present. The system, bear with me 1 second, for those of you can see. Matt's put a very good image there. It really is, if you can see me there, it really is a very, very simple, it's basically an iPhone. And the iPhone has been adapted on a very clever bracket. Obviously, it's got the software. It's been adapted with a torch so that a torch shines directly into the person's ear. And it enables us to do something called digital otoscopy very accurately and very quickly. So as it says, in a single 30-minute appointment, we can do an ear health assessment. We can remove wax if wax is present, and we can do a hearing screening test to make sure the person's able to hear correctly. So within a 30-minute appointment, they'll leave with hopefully a clean bill of health about their hearing, or know what they need to do to take the next step. And it's a service that's really appreciated by GPs and the like. So we're not treading on their toes. They really want people like us to be able to provide this service. It's a very unique system, as we can see there, and it's really what we would call, state of the art and gold standard. There are people that think that you have your ears syringed, or there's another process called irrigation, and both of those two systems are really not very good for the ear. Syringing is now pretty much outlawed. Nobody should really be doing syringing, because you're putting an uncontrolled pressure of water into a sealed unit, which is your ear canal. And at the end of it, you've got your ear drum, which is a very, very thin piece of skin and can get damaged very easily. So we shouldn't be putting pressure in the ear. We should be using suction to get the wax out. And that's what we do. So I know the slide's quite small there, but that's really illustrating that it's a high standard service that we're going to be offering. So it's convenient and a high standard. First of all, one of the things we're going to be doing is people will get a unique territory. So we can't have two people in the same area. What we're hoping to do here is build a brand that's going to be aspirational, because there isn't really a leading brand in earwax removal. So hopefully when the franchise is more mature, when the brand is more mature, people will be Googling, Clear Air Express, and will be able to point patients directly to whoever it is that has that area. It comes complete with all of the equipment you need for your own microsuction business. And you've got this cloud-based system that at the back of it it's a fantastic platform. It has everything you need to manage your clinic. And more importantly, and I've used it today, I use it regularly. If there's anything that I see when I look in somebody's ear that I'm not happy about or confident about for any reason, I upload the image to this cloud. Well, all the images get uploaded anyway, and I request a review. And I sort of say within the review what it is that I would like to be reviewed and why. And within 24 hours, I get a response from a qualified and experienced audiologist who tells me what the next step is for that patient. They're going to get full training. So this isn't a franchise that anybody can do, unfortunately or fortunately. We have to find the right people, and Matt's already building in systems and processes to do that. They're going to need some relevant experience, and I think we'll go into that a little bit more in one of the later slides. But when we get the right person, they'll be fully trained. There's online training. There's eight modules, I believe, and that's the beginning of a training process. They then go and have a couple of days sort of hands-on training, and then they have somebody come and visit them and fully accredit them before they sign them off. So the sorts of people that we think will be suitable for this and will be, be interested in doing this is really one or two people. It's either people that own a healthcare business of some form, and they're not completely fully utilized, and they can bring this in as an additional service, or it's people already working in healthcare that are employed. Maybe they're working long hours, they're not happy with what they do, there's stress, there's pressure, and they love to have their own business. So it can be either of those two things, really. So within business owners, we could be talking to community pharmacists, we could be looking at care and residential homes, GPs, clinics, audiologists. Although that seems a bit strange, audiologists do not really want to remove wax. So it might be that they want to upskill somebody within their practice to do all of this earwax removal. It could be opticians, as it was for me, any other allied healthcare professionals, people that provide, and this is more for the individuals. So anybody that's working in care that has demonstrably transferable skills, we can consider to put through this training. Anybody that's in domiciliary care that's providing personal care would be a potential candidate. Any healthcare practitioners, so chiropodists whoever it may be, that are used to providing primary care should be suitable for training to do earwax removal. Some care providers, depending what experience they've got, they may well be suitable. And as a guideline, we're looking for people with an NVQ level 2 or higher in some form of audiology or pharmacy will definitely get in. But it can also be anybody with suitable, relevant experience, proven experience. So one sort of unusual sort of comparison I could give you is maybe someone that, a tattooist. They're very used to doing intricate, carefully controlled things, and therefore, with the correct training, they should be able to easily remove wax from somebody's ears. Anybody that's ever given injections, people that are working in care where they're administering drugs and things may well be suitable. So I think for you team, we want to try and hopefully identify the right person, and then later in the process, I'll be talking to them to make sure they are going to be accepted and taken through. And as this slide says, it gives the person the ability to develop professionally, because they're going to undergo some accredited training and certification and learn how to perform this otoscopy and microsuction. They're going to have access to live and on-demand training, and that's given by experts within the field. They'll have a personalised program that meets where you are on your professional journey. So again, they'll get the level of care and support that they need. And then you've got ongoing resources and support from this high quality network of professionals and peer-to-peer communities. You just go on the cloud, there's a button that you hit and you tell the person whatever it is, and you'll get the help and support accordingly. There's professional continued training that you can get. So people that want to do this will probably be some form of people born into care, and so born and working into care, and they do care and they do want to grow professionally. So that could be a very good trigger for why some people want to do this. So we're saying that the initial franchise purchase is going to be $12,999 plus VAT. That gets you the first year's rental of the equipment, which alone is about £5,000. It gets you all of the things that we'll go through shortly. It gets you the website, it gets you the support, it gets you all of the business packages. So there are two sort of sides to this support that the franchisee is going to get. They're going to get first-class clinical support and all of the support that is given there, the training, the development, and everything. And then on top of that, they're going to get all of the business support from us, and we're going to make sure they've got a performing website. They're going to get a CRM that's going to enable them to communicate with their patients and also store comprehensive notes, which is part of what they need to do. We've put together a community contact program where there are letters that they can send to GPs, surgeries. There are letters that they can send to care homes, letters they can send to pharmacies to get them to refer people to them. We've cracked to a degree Google Ads. So we've got Google Ads that we can run for them. So the idea behind it is, if going forward, all they really need to do is run a first-class clinic, because they're going to get the clinical support, they're going to get the marketing support to really make sure that this business flies.
So one question from me, Tony, is what about the premises cost?
So that's the only thing that we've not built into the costs. And the reason for that is the cost of the premises will be incredibly flexible. So if you already own a property that is underutilized, there's going to be no additional rent. So if you're a GP surgery, an optician, a pharmacist, you're probably going to have no additional rent. The other end of the scale is some people can work this from home. They could be purely a visiting and maybe, have they could convert a room in their home to doing this, because you don't need very much space. And obviously there'll be no rent there. My business, I pay £300 plus VAT a month for and it's an amply large, so very large room. So it doesn't have to be very expensive, the rent, but we couldn't build it into the projections because the circumstances can vary so much.
If you're doing home visits, well, what is the percentage of home visits that you do, Tony?
Well, it's a difficult one to answer. I deliberately haven't pushed it, but I did one today. I'm probably doing 3 or 4 a week, but there's definitely a business to be had if somebody wanted to do that. Just pushing the care homes, there are in Gloucester alone, I think there's something like 60 care provision companies where they go out to people's homes and help look after them in their own home, and they're fantastic, referral sources. So yes, if you wanted to do it purely domiciliary, there's absolutely a market for that. But I quite like people coming to me. As we said, the earnings potentials here is really very attractive. It's quite simple. You'll see it can be very simple to earn up to 50k a year, running it as a part-time business, as a part-time, like a lifestyle business. So, for example, my profession, a dispensing optician, probably gets about £170 a day. That's the day rate for a dispensing optician. Well, you'd only have to see 3 people in that day to replicate that income. So it'd be very easy if for example, I apologize if I'm being sexist here. I don't mean to be. It's just, in a conventional, traditional world, if mum is the main carer of a child and therefore is taking the child to school in the morning and collecting him at 3:30 in the afternoon, you could have a business where you start at 10 and finish at 2 or 2:30 and still see 6 or 7 people a day. And 6 or 7 people a day can easily earn you £300. So you could be working part-time and earning considerably more than you were earning full-time for somebody else. So the income streams that we've got is there's only really 3 things currently, and that's all you need. So a full health check, which doesn't happen very often, but when you have a full health check where there's no wax present in the ear, we charge £25. And I've not done one of those this week, I don't think, let alone, so they don't happen very often, because most of the time people are here, they're here because they're aware something's going on with their ears. So the health check and wax removal is £60. I charge £80 for a home visit up to 10 miles, £90 up to 20 miles. And I probably wouldn't do a home visit further than that because it's just too far to go. The appointment times in the practice are 30 minutes. So if you were to see 20 people a week, you could do that in the equivalent of 2 days quite easily, because that's about 10 patients a day, and that's about 5 hours of actual time facing patients. So including all of the deductions that you'd be paying, like the insurance, like the equipment rental, everything bar the room, at just 20 appointments a week, you would be grossing £32,000. And that's probably a good dispensing optician salary. They probably get between 25 and about 35. So that would replace a full-time income for a lot of the types of people that we're considering here. If they saw 30 people a week, which is the equivalent of 3 days full-time work, we're up to 55k net salary. And that's the sort of salary you'd have to be managing a very large opticians with probably 25 to 30 staff and all of the headaches that go with that to be a full-time, to be earning a similar salary. And then if we go into the full-time business where you're seeing between 40 and 50 people a week, and I do say that it would be difficult to see 50 people a week without considering getting somebody to help you, whether it's a receptionist or whatever. We're talking at 70. Sorry, it's not cuts. Somewhere between the high 70Ks and up to nearly 125K. That's with, like I say, no staff or maybe one staff member. It's phenomenal earnings. Optometrists don't earn the 78K. And I don't know anybody in optics that, without being a business owner, that's earning 124. And that'll be the same in a lot of those professions. So it's very attractive earnings. So we're looking at, freedom. We're looking at not employing staff, not having to deal with the NHS, which I can assure you, for anybody that has dealt with the NHS, can be a headache in itself. We're not talking about having expensive retail premises. It's a business in a box that you can pick up and run with very, very quickly, with fantastic support from both clinically and business-wise.
So another question for me, Tony, is that obviously there's other systems out there compared to this. So can you give us just a quick overview of how the other systems compare to the Clear Air Express system?
It's chalk and cheese, basically.
Right.
Nobody should be, when we do our Google AdWords, we'll be putting negative words about people that do things like cheap or self. No, your ear canal it's an incredibly sophisticated system, and as I say, at the end of it, you've got an incredibly thin piece of skin. If people are trying to do it themselves, then the chances are, I say to people when they ask, you hope it doesn't work, because they're either going to buy a system that's absolutely, excuse my French, but absolutely crap and doesn't work, or they're going to be really, really putting the hearing in danger if they've got something that's strong enough to get that out, because you need to be trained to do it and you need the right equipment. Those are genuine testimonials. This is from clinicians using the equipment rather than from patients. Service I'm offering is not just earwax removal, it's ear care as a whole. Since we started offering the service, we've had full clinics every day. The ability to digitally capture images and video that can then be used for further care and management is game changing. And then there's a few FAQs, which I think we've pretty much covered there. What makes the Clear franchise unique? It's that dual, that gold standard care combined with your high quality business development. How do I promote my new services? We will give them an array of tools for promoting their service.
Well, that's about it, Tony. Thank you very, very much for explaining all that. It's been really informative. And if anybody is interested in starting your own Clean Ear Express franchise, then please get in touch with YBG Franchising, and you can speak to one of the sales team. And also, you'll be able to get to speak to Tony directly as well before you actually make the purchase. So, Tony, again, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us on Meet the Founder.